Okay, good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan Milakovic, and I am excited to share with you guys about how to rank up. And just some different things that we have done over the years that have proven to be really, really successful when you are going for any rank, okay? And I come to you from someone whose team double ranked Sapphire and Diamond in the same month. And if you're not super familiar with what that means, that's a huge jump, okay? Diamond is 4,500 points. Sapphire's 3,000. That means that in 1 week, we had to grow our team by an entire emerald, by like emerald points, okay? That's huge, right? Things like that do not happen on accident. Okay. There is strategy behind it. There are a lot of things that you can do to set your month up for big ranks. And so that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys about. So here's something that we have found to be tried and true in our businesses. Okay. Is that the best way to reach your goals is to help your people to reach theirs, right? A lot of people doing a little bit is going to move mountains. There are some of you who are super hard workers and you're like, I'm just going to work my way to diamond. I'm going to do it by myself. I'm going to work my way to emerald. And you need to be a hard worker. That's like given, right? But it requires other people hitting their goals in order for you to hit yours. This cannot be about you, right? Yes, you're the one who's hitting the big rank, but you do not get there by yourself. You do not get there without helping other people. And this does not mean that the month that you decide to go for a rank up, that all of a sudden you jump in and start helping your team. It doesn't work like that. Okay. From the beginning in your business, you have to go about it with a mindset of servant leadership, right? You have to go about it. How can I help other people? How can I help them reach their goals? How can I serve them? How can I add value to them? How can I grow in my leadership skills so that I have more value to add to my team? If there's an area that you are lacking in, right? An area that you need growth in, then get to work. Start listening to the podcast, start reading the books. There is zero excuse with the amount of knowledge and things that are out there for you to be like, well, I don't know how to do this. I can't hit my goals because of XYZ. Figure it out, learn how to do it, right? And so, with that, you have to keep growing those skills. You have to lead from love with your people. There's two different kinds of leadership. There's leading from love and there's leading out of fear. Both will get you results. One will get you the long-term results that you're wanting. When you lead out of love and you lead out of caring and you genuinely have concern about the people that are coming into your organization, your people are going to be loyal to you. They are going to love you. They are going to follow you. They are going to be inspired by you. And they are going to want to move mountains for you when you put out a massive goal. If you lead out of fear, people might do what you're asking for a little bit, but they're going to resent you and they're eventually not going to do the things that you want them to do anymore. It's not going to give you that long-term foundation that you want. So we always want to make sure that we are coming from a place of love, not a place of frustration, not a place of you have to do what I tell you. Newsflash, we are in a volunteer business. We have a volunteer army. Nobody has to do anything that you are
Yeah.
telling them, right? You have to earn their respect. You have to earn their loyalty. You have to come in there and you
Were
have
you
to
guys walking with us today?
mute. Okay. You have to come in and you have to show them, hey, I'm going somewhere, right? I have big dreams. This is where this vision casting piece comes from. This is where the things that you're sharing on your social media, the things that you're sharing with your team, right? You have to say, hey, I'm going somewhere. You have to say, this is the vision that I have for my family. What's the vision that you have for your family? Not everyone's going to get it right away, but our job as leaders is to draw that out of them, right? And here's the thing, it might be a slower process for some people. Okay? Look at the beginning of my story. It took me 5 months to go silver. There are a lot of you who would have never given me the time of day, and you would be missing out on a diamond, right? There are a lot of you who would have gotten frustrated that I wasn't all in. You would have gotten frustrated that every time you went to me about going silver, I kept saying, not this month, not going to be this month, not happening, sister. Sorry, right? There are people who are like that on your team who haven't caught the vision yet, but you stop sharing after 1, 2, 3 times and you just give up, right? But people can be developed and they can catch the vision. And so you have to keep planting those seeds and you have to work with people where they're at. You might have some people who are never going to go past senior gold, or they're never going to go past gold, or they're never going to go past ruby. Like, and that's okay. We need every single one of those people. We need those senior silvers, right? They're bringing in about 50 points. When you're going for a rank up and those people are ordering every month, that matters. Those silvers who added 3 people and they're bringing in 15 points, that matters and it's important. And so we have to treat everyone on our teams with this love and respect because because their goals are not to go all the way to the top yet, that's okay. One day that might change because you continued casting that vision for them. So here's how we always looked at people, right? As they've come into our organization. It does not necessarily matter the results that that person is getting yet. It matters, are they being coachable and are they doing the work? Because it is literally a law in nature, physics, whatever you want to say. If you plant a seed and you water it, it will grow, right? But sometimes the timeline might be longer. But if you have people who are showing up who are not saying they're going to do the work. There's a big difference. The people who are actually doing the work, right? They're being coachable, they're doing the things, but maybe their results aren't going as fast. That's okay. We still, as leaders, need to pour into them and we need to give them that time of day because it matters, because that person could grow into an emerald. You never know. They could be a diamond on your team and you would have lost out because everyone wasn't quite matching your energy level. That's okay. We have to meet people where they are at. That's part of leadership is you have to see people where they're at and then also call them to a higher level, right? In an inspiring way to get them to want to do that, right? So when you are going for a big rank, you have to get buy-in from your people because you cannot do this alone, right? Obviously, silver, you do that by yourself. You have to get those first 3 people. Senior silver, you could probably do that by yourself too. But developing silvers is going to be even better. Even gold. There's some of you have gotten to gold by yourself, right? But you can't really get past that point by yourself. You have to start developing people. You have to start inspiring them. You have to serve your people. You have to get their buy-in for when you're going for a big rank. So if you break it down, okay, let's give Emerald for example. Okay, you want to go for Emerald, that's 1,500 points. Well, you have to look at that and say, okay, well, I mean, there's many, many different breakdowns. Okay, I'm just going to give you one example, right? Like, so you could have one leg going for Senior Ruby. You could have another leg going for Ruby and another Senior Gold, right? Or you could have many Senior Golds and a Ruby, right? Like you can break it down by the points. Ruby's 500, Senior Ruby 750, and Senior Gold's 250. You map that out on your team and you look, okay, who is getting close to those ranks? Who's getting close to those goals on all of my different legs? Let me go to them and let me see, How can I help you reach this goal this month? When is your goal? When are you going after this goal? When are you going for this rank up, right? I'll give you an example of sometimes you just have to put it out there for people for them to like just say yes and go on board. Okay. So when we were going for Diamond, we went to Caitlin and we said, "Hey Kate, this is your emerald month." And she was like, "What?" And we said, "I believe you can do it." Like I 1000% believe that you can do it. Belief is probably one of the number one things about going for ranks is you have to believe it and you have to decide, right? And then that belief, you have to match it with action. You can't just put these graphics out there and say, I'm going for a goal, right? At the very end of the month, because chances are you're not going to hit it. And I love putting countdowns out on social media. I love sharing in your stories where you're going, what you're doing, casting that vision, doing the countdowns, all of those things. I think that's amazing, but you have to do it with intent and purpose. And sometimes you have to set your month up, like you have to set it up a month in advance before you go for a rank, right? For the bigger ones. And so it's setting those things up strategically. Look at the month of March, okay? People have been in massive momentum. Well, that momentum is carrying into April, and we already have more signups in the first day of the month than we did probably the whole first week in March because that momentum carries. So if you're looking for a big rank, like senior ruby, you're looking for a big rank like emerald, right? Sometimes you have to set that up like a month or two in advance, okay? Now, sometimes you can just say, guns blazing, hey, we're going to go for this crazy rank, okay? Which is kind of what we did with going Sapphire and Diamond. We were pretty close to Sapphire the month before, right? It was like any one of these months soon, we're going to be going for Sapphire and Diamond, right? Like I wanted to sail through Sapphire and go on to Diamond. And the last night of the month, right before May, we were in a chat. We were in this Jewel chat and this girl had shared that she had a dream of hers was to double rank Sapphire and Diamond in the same month. I was like, well, that's crazy. And then Alita calls me and she's like, hey, I think that you could do it. And I was like, you think I could do what? She's like, did you see what she put in that chat? She had a goal of double ranking Sapphire and Diamond. She's like, I think that you can actually do that. And I had to I said, "Well, let me think about it," right? I'm not going to make this decision just yet. I have to think about it because I knew the cost of what it was going to be for that next month. We had already been running for months. I want you guys to know something. We ran. I mean, worked crazy hours, like it was nuts. Short-term sacrifice, long-term gain. We ran for 5 months, February to June. We grew from 1,700 points to 6,200 points in June, okay? 5 months we ran. And I set my family up for the next 5 years, okay? We grew that and we have had a solid business for 5 years from that. You guys, that's wild. 5 months to set your family up for 5 years. I feel like that's totally worth it, right? And so I was like, let me think about this because I know this is going to be crazy. And I said, you know what? I think we're going to go for it. And so it was the first of the month. I made the decision. And then I went live on my team page. And I shared with them that we were going to do something in Plexus history that only a handful of people had ever done. Did they want to be a part of Plexus history? Who wanted to be a part of this with us? The energy was contagious. But can I tell you that after I put that goal out there, I wanted to puke because I thought, well, great. Now they all know. Now they know that we're going for something huge and I can't back down now, right? I made this decision and I can't backtrack, right? If you put a big goal out there, you better not backtrack because it seems a little hard. You better stick with that. Even if you don't hit it that month, your next month should be even more energy, higher energy, going for that, okay? Because here's what I have seen happen. People go for big ranks and then they miss it and they get so discouraged that it takes them months to recover. You guys are not going to be those people. right? Because you're going to put that big goal out there and you're going to run with everything that you have. And then if you don't hit it that month, you just go right for it into the next month and you carry that momentum, right? Instead of sitting around the next few days and being like, well, I worked really hard. I'm going to take a few days off. I'm going to take a break. I'm feeling really sorry for myself. This didn't happen, right? No, you don't do that, right? You are running full momentum. And it doesn't necessarily matter what other people believe that you can do or what they believe you can't do, right? What Hannah's sister did last month, going from like 400 points all the way to Emerald, right? That's crazy. Trisha didn't think she could do it in the beginning. She actually told her, I really don't think you can do this. And her sister said, watch me. I'm going to find a way to do it. And her actions matched her belief, right? Your actions always have to match that belief. And once you've made a decision, it is all gas, right? There are no pumping the brakes on this. You got to go for it. I actually had someone that month on corporate project my numbers. We did a team training and she projected my numbers for me to not even hit Sapphire that month in front of my entire team. Okay. So talk about like defeating, being like, oh, well, corporate doesn't even think I can hit Sapphire this month. And I was like, you know what? Watch us. And here's the thing. There are always going to be things that are going to come up during a rank up month that's going to feel crazy, that's going to feel defeating, that's going to feel discouraging, that's going to feel like it could knock you down. But the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful people is that the successful people don't let that keep them down, right? I had a pity party for about 10 minutes and then I was like, we're going to turn this ship around because that's crazy. I don't care what anybody else has to say. I don't care what they're projecting about us because I know that we can do the impossible, right? So when those hard things come up, because they're going to come, it's life, right? The month that we hit diamond was the month that we moved from Virginia out here to Tennessee. We were living with my parents, right? Their house is not built for all of us to be there. Hunter was only like 10 months old, like he was still a baby, okay? And Phil literally had to go to Virginia for the week to get our house moved. Like I hit Sapphire the day that the moving truck showed up on our property, okay? Like it was nuts. So, I mean, there's always going to be things that are going to come up that you're like, well, it can't be this month, it can't be this month. Why not? Why can't it be that month, right? But there are things that you have to do to set yourself up for that success, right? You have to get that buy-in from your people. That's honestly probably one of the most important things. Once you have the belief and you've made a decision and you're going for it, you have to have that buy-in from your people, right? And that comes from your character. That comes from who you are as a person. That comes from just the way that you have operated your business from the beginning. One of the things that I kept hearing Trisha say over and over again about Hannah and what her people would say about her is she was so caring. She was so loving. She was always there to help us, and her people wanted to move mountains. Are you a person that people want to move mountains for? Are your people loyal to you? Right? Have they seen you show up consistently and seen the kind of leader that you are, right? Because those things are really important and they really matter. You can't just slap a goal out there on social media and then hope and pray that your team is going to rally behind you. No, you have to go to them individually, right? You have to meet with them individually, whether that's getting on a call at the beginning of that month, right? Rallying them, figuring out exactly how many points they need, right? Mapping out their goals. What's the point gap from last month? Where did they end last month? Where do they want to be this month? How many points do we need to make up in there? Account for a little bit of attrition, right? And then have that mapped out for them, right? How many silvers do they need to help develop? Who else on their team's goals do they need to hit? There is some strategy to it. It's not just I'm gonna post these points out there and really hope that I can hit it. It is very much getting in the weeds of your business and getting on phone calls, you guys. I can't preach three-way phone calls enough. We literally probably in those 5 months, this is not even exaggeration, we probably did 1,000. Okay, like I know that sounds nuts, but we were getting on the phone with everyone. We were casting the vision of, hey, if you refer a friend, if you refer three, and then, well, I forget how much it was that they would earn that month, but we were sharing with them, hey, here's the income that you can get. We were so heavy on sharing the referral, right? It was just part of our culture. It was what we were doing. It was everyone who comes in is getting on the phone. Everyone who comes in, we're asking them for a shout out. We're asking them to host events. We were hosting like three. Now, obviously, this was a little bit different, right? Because we were doing it all online. Not everyone does things online. You can do it in person. You can do it however you want. But we were hosting like 3 to 4 wellness events a night because all of our new people who were coming in, they were hosts. We were like, hey, this is what we do. You host a wellness event when you join our whatever you want to call it. When you join Plexus, like this is what we do. When you become a customer, here's what we do. We run an event. And the goal was, right, to help everyone at least refer one person, then help them refer three. We had people at the end of that month who had told us, I will never share, who were signing up like for people because they wanted to be a part of the movement, right? They wanted to be a part of what we were doing. They were so excited because energy is contagious, right? When you are passionate, when you are excited, when people believe in where you're going because you're not wishy-washy about it, they are going to gravitate into what you are doing, right? And so it starts with you got to make that decision, right? You got to make that decision of when am I going for this? And then your actions have to match that decision. If you just throw a decision out there and your actions don't match it, you're not going to hit your goals. If you try to play it safe, now some people have done this, okay? They have played it safe for the month. And then at the end, they ramp it up and it's very chaotic and crazy, right? And a lot of times when people wait until the end to throw that goal out there, they miss it by just a few points and just a few orders because they were unwilling to put themselves out there. It's scary to put a goal out there and for you to not miss it, right? And for you to miss it. It's a scary thing to do. My first big goal that I put out there was that we were going to hit Emerald by December of that year, like hit it in 6 months, and I didn't do it. And you know what? There's not a single person who remembers that. Nobody's like, wow, Megan really sucks at this business. I can't believe that she didn't hit Emerald in 6 months when she said she was going to. Like literally nobody knows and nobody cares. They just know I'm at the top of the company now. Right? And so don't be afraid to put those things out there. Don't be afraid to fail in front of people, right? It's going to happen, but it's how you handle it, right? It's how you handle your mindset throughout the months. It's when you hit a goal, then going on and bringing higher energy the next month. That's something that Amber Miller had shared with us when she went Emerald again on her reentry leg. She shared the month that I went Emerald, she said it was high energy. She said, and what I realized as a leader is the next month, I needed to bring even higher energy. Okay. That's what we did when we hit Diamond, right? We hit Diamond that month and we didn't go back. We grew by another like 2,000 points the next month, right? We brought even higher energy because we had so much momentum. But I will share with you, when we went Emerald, I did not do that, right? And there are hard lessons sometimes that you have to learn. When we hit Emerald, the next month I was like, ooh, I just got to take a break. This was a lot, all this different kind of stuff. And you know what? My team suffered for it. They really did. Points started going backwards. And the ball was rolling down because I didn't bring that higher energy the next month, right? And I needed to learn some more leadership skills, right? That was selfish of me to do that as a leader, honestly, because it's like I hit my goal. Okay, great. Now here you guys are, right? It took me a while to build that back up with people because again, it has, that's why I preach that down. It has to be about your people. It has to be about their buy-in. It has to be about helping them and doing everything that you can in your power to be there for them, to genuinely care about people, right? This is not like you can't fake care about people. And then because they can tell, right? Like you have to actually genuinely pour into them. Like our whole mission, right? In this business is yes, to help people earn an income, right? We want to help. We want you to have more money in your pockets. But I can't help you get more money in your pockets if I don't know about you. If I don't know what's going on with you, if I don't know things that have happened, if I don't take a genuine caring into your family and what is going on in your life, right? I can't help you reach those goals because all of those mindset things, they really play into this business because it affects every area of your life. So if I only care about what you're doing in your business and I don't ever care about what's going on in your family, right? If there's turmoil and there's something happening, I want to be there to help you and talk about it, right? I want to be there for you because I know that once those things get smoothed out, you're going to be able to show up better for your business, right? And so we care about you, we care about your families, we care about your marriage, we care about your kids, we care about all of those things. And that's how we lead with love. So, just to kind of recap some of like the practical steps when you are going for a rank. If you're going for a really big one, senior ruby, emerald, you may have to set that up a month in advance, right? Or for emerald, it might have to be like a 90-day plan of, hey, here's when we want to hit it. Here's the things that we're going to do in order to set ourselves up, right? For some other ranks, you don't have to do that, right? You can literally just make the decision and say, okay, we're going for this, right? Because this goal lines up with my team's goals, right? If you're going for ruby, and you have two people on two different legs that are going for senior gold, that really makes a lot of sense, right? Ruby's 500 points, senior gold's 250. You have two people running after senior gold, makes a lot of sense to run after Ruby that month, right? Or you could have, five golds. Five golds that you're trying to develop that month, and they're running out after that. So having this map of where are your people at, what are their goals, how can you help them reach their goals, right? And casting a vision for where you guys are all going, that it's worth it, that the short-term sacrifice, long-term gain is worth it, that you guys can move mountains, right? When you put a goal out there and you say something, do people actually believe you? Do they believe that you can move mountains? If I put something out there and I say I'm going for it, people know it's going to happen. Not because it has happened every single time, right? I missed Ruby when we were going for it. We were fast ranking like gold, senior gold, and I thought for sure I was going to hit Ruby that month. And you know what? I didn't, and I had to pivot, but we hit it the next month, right? And so it's setting your mind to those things. It's mapping it out with your people. It's having that belief that you actually can do it. It doesn't mean that doubts don't come in. I will tell you, I was a basket case the night before we hit diamond because I thought I came really close. And I looked at Phil and I said, but I can't do it. Because for me, it was when I said, I want it to be about my people. It has to be about our team. It has to be about our people. I said, I don't want it to look like where we hit emerald and then we went backwards. I said that I can't do that again. It has to be about our people. It has to be about them. And I said, we gave it a really good shot. They, a lot of them had already hit goals at that point. And I was like, we just can't do it. Like there's too much of a gap. We have to jump. It was like 200 or 300 points at that point. I think we were at 4,200. And I just can't do it. And so he had to call Lita because I was in my head. And I had to get out of my head. And she was like, just go on Facebook and share your story. And this makes me emotional because you guys, that night I got on and I shared literally everything that I shared on that live has happened in my life. Every single thing that I said that I wanted to have happen, that was what I wanted for my family. It's all happened. Every single one of them. We have crossed out 3 of our vision boards and we're on our 4th. Like big things can happen in your life. It doesn't mean that you're never going to doubt it, but you have to surround yourself with people who are going to build you up and who are going to believe in your dreams, who are going to push you farther than you thought you could go. And then you have to dig down deep. When you feel like you can't give anything else, you have to find a way to pull it out. That's what Les Brown talks about. When you want to give up, when everything seems impossible, because that seemed impossible to me, right? And it's why I say the phrase over and over and over again, your dreams are possible, because it is. But you have to believe it and you have to dig down deep when you feel like you have nothing left to give and that it seems like this mountain is insurpassable. There's no way we can do it. We showed up that next day. So I went live. I shared our heart. I shared what Diamond meant to us. I shared our vision, and mountains started moving. That next day, you guys, we didn't just grow by the points that we needed. We didn't just hit 4,500 points. We hit 4,700 points. Okay. We went above Diamond. We didn't hit it by the skin of our teeth. We hit it at like 2 in the afternoon on that Sunday. And we had people who had upped their goals, who were running so hard. I mean, we literally didn't stop. We watched the points hit in our back office. We said, yay. I'm pretty sure we popped some champagne. And then I literally got back in the office and got to work. I got on more calls with people. I sent more messages. We did not stop. Okay. That's important. I had other people on our team who were running after their goals and we hit ours, but we didn't stop, right? Because you can't stop. You have to keep going. You have to keep going with them because that's really important, you guys. And so I hope that this was truly inspiring for you guys today. I want you to know that you can do the impossible. It doesn't matter the timelines that other people have set for you. It doesn't matter if somebody said, oh, you can't go that fast. It doesn't matter if you've had slower seasons in your business. It literally doesn't matter. All you have to do is decide and then get to work. And you don't even have to know what all the ins and outs are of that. You just have to get into messy action, right? Get into messy action. That is what it is all about. So don't have to figure all the details out. Just start doing the things. Okay. And you'll figure it out as you go. So I love you guys. I am super excited for all of the rank ups that are to come this month, the next few months. It's really exciting. Be ready to match your actions to your decisions and to your energy level, right? Don't kid yourself. It's a serious decision when you decide to go after something like that, but you can absolutely do it if you are willing to put in the work. So you guys are awesome. I love you all, and we'll see you soon.